Hi. Hi. You usually start it. Go ahead.
Welcome back to the Jaden and Jaden podcast.
Okay, that's boring. That's next. I thought you did better last episode, but hi, it's us, Jaden and Jaden. Which one comes first? I don't know. It's me because I'm special, so I do know actually. Yup. Isn't that just a spooky thought? Spooky thought? I feel like a poet right now. Spooky thought? Ghost. Ghost. Creepy, spooky. Yup. Snaps. This is what I've learned in Miss Stern's class. Thank you. We're talking about ghosts today. Why?
Because I had ghosts over the week.
I didn't, because I'm a normal person. We're talking about ghosts. So, ghosts, I looked up the definition to be more professional, and we actually have something to do this episode. While I pull this definition of ghost up, let's talk about the podcast in general.
Okay.
We always talk about why we made it, but like podcast going further, I do want to start doing visuals soon.
Yeah.
Set up a camera or two and call it a day.
Yeah.
But
we would probably need to change how we're sitting if we're going to do that.
Yeah, probably. But also, I want to definitely, my goal by the end of March is to have it on another platform.
Okay.
YouTube's great and all, but every time I tell people, they're like, tell me like the podcast link on Spotify. They love Spotify.
Yeah.
And they just hate YouTube because YouTube, you can't turn off your phone. So it should be somewhere else soon, hopefully.
Yeah. We'll try.
Okay.
It costs money. Well, I'll look into some of the free options, see what they do.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so ghosts. An apparition of a dead person which is believed to appear to become manifest of the... Okay, this is boring. Ghosts are dead people who come back as little spirits. And yeah, I've had a few instances with ghosts. Have you?
I've had... So, for one, my house is definitely haunted. That is... Like, everybody in my family pretty much knows the house is haunted.
Okay.
And then I've also had one other experience outside of my house that proves it to me.
So, when it comes to, like, ghosts, do you think that, like, what are your thoughts on ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts?
Oh, I definitely believe in ghosts.
Well, yeah, you just said your house is haunted. I used to think my house is haunted. I think being older, my perception of ghosts has gotten better because I used to think this big, scary boo character, which is what most kids think, I would think.
No, the ghost in my house is a sweetheart. They like to leave my keys when I lose them.
Okay.
They like to turn off the lights for me.
How long has has like someone died in the house?
No.
Oh, so this is just a random girl.
Yeah.
Or a random dude.
No, it's a girl.
Oh, it's a girl.
I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah. I saw it like morning. There was like this one really creepy day. Like,
What?
I think it was, I don't know. It was a long time ago, but it was like this morning I was going to go take a shower and the ghost was just coming out of the out of the door. And you may be like, oh, it might be like your mom or dad. It's like, nah, I knew both my sisters were downstairs and my mom and my dad was out. I think he was out of town that day. So everybody in my house was accounted for downstairs. And there was just this little girl coming out of this.
No, I've never had that before. I've only had like either I hear something that I shouldn't be hearing, or like, let's say, oh my gosh. I used to think my house was haunted because at night I would wake up to footsteps like I was in an apartment. And I think that's because I used to live in one here. And I was just getting flashbacks now. Like I would just get like flashbacks, war flashbacks, if one may say, to living in an apartment. But I would hear footsteps, but I sleep upstairs. So I'm like, who is stomping in the attic? Oh, it says this random girl. And then when I got a little older, like middle school, well, I came here in middle school. So it was like 7th grade. I just thought someone was living in my house because I started watching those videos of like people secretly living in other people's houses. And I got so nervous. I would purposely like run up the stairs. Everyone does that, right? You do that?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure that.
Wait,
like,
are you
turn
talking
off the light and run?
Are you talking like sprinting, or are you talking about like the four
like a wolf? Like the minute the light turns off, I'm gone. Zoom. You would never see me. If a ghost is behind me, they will never catch me because I'm literally the Flash when that happens. I am ready to zoom on out of there, and I'm glad I'm not the only person who does that. And I'm glad it's like everyone does because you never know who's behind you.
Yeah.
Have you ever pulled the like, what's it called? You're alone in a room and you're like, hey.
Oh,
Just in case anyone is there.
no, I don't do that. But when I like think the ghost has done something,
Mm-hmm.
I always thank it.
Okay.
It's like, thanks for returning my keys. Like, just so that way, like, it doesn't just start stealing the keys for no reason.
Okay.
So I make sure to always thank it when it's like done something nice.
So explain the whole key thing again.
Okay. So this Monday, I lost my keys. I couldn't find them. I
Okay.
searched my whole house for them. Then I went to school. I had to use my mom's keys. Went to school, came back, took a nap, left my room looking for my keys, searched. Came back into my room again, doing a final quick search, and the keys were just on the pillow I took a nap on.
Oh my god.
So it was like, thanks for returning them. That you needed like just a
it was
ride
a
somewhere.
ghost, or maybe you're crazy. You never know. I'm trying to think if I have any ghost instances, not of like recent, but in the past. So a story about my uncle, and I love bringing up my uncle because he's a weirdo, and I love that weirdo so much. He's the one that works at NASA and stuff. But he one day like told me like as a kid he would talk to ghosts and stuff like that, and he like that's what he can do, is talk to ghosts and talk to spirits, and he's a very spiritual person. He's like that kind of uncle, kind of auntie vibe where it's like chakras. But he's more of a refined version of that because he doesn't believe in like living lower, or like he's not like the socks and sandal kind of hippie. He's like the up in freaking, he has a what's it called, a condo, he got that NASA money.
Yeah.
But he told me he talked to kids when he used to live in Puerto Rico. Like he would talk to dead kids and stuff like that. And what he did, he told me to go into a room, in like a dark room, and like practically like chant something over and over again. And I don't know why my grandma let me do that, or I don't even think she was there. So he let me do that, and I was in a room chanting away. Just chanting away, trying to talk to these dang ghosts. And then my mom comes and she's like, why would you let my son do that? And practically like they got in like a fight. Like they were yelling at each other because she was like, why would you do that to my kid? He's gonna be crazy. And then that night when I was asleep, I saw like it was either a dream or it was true. I woke up. Oh, my grandma was there because I woke up in bed with my grandma, and I looked at the door, and there was just this outline of this like not even ghost figure. It looked like Satan himself. Like it was, and then he like did this cartoony walk towards me, like the like villain, like hands up like a pause, and then like and then he walked towards me with what's it called, and then I went back to sleep, and then and it honestly could have been my uncle, now thinking about it, because another night I remember I was laying in bed and I was like trying to fall asleep, and I feel a poke on the side of me. And I look to my right, and me and my grandma are in bed, and my uncle's poking me with a sword. A sword? I didn't even know he had it till that moment, and I was like, why are you poking me with a sword? And yeah, it's just those memories. Those are like my one ghost stories. I think other than that, ghost-wise, I've never like encountered a ghost.
Well, so there's one big time that really stands out to me and some of my friends, and it's when we were for Cub Scouts. So this would have been elementary school. We were on a boat, a Navy ship that's like retired. It's a museum now, all that stuff. And as Cub Scouts, you get to sleep on the boat. So you get a room like the Navy did. You get like a cot, and you get to sleep on the cot. And so you could buy the option to go do like a night tour, like a ghost tour, and you get to go into like a bunch of restricted sections of the boat, and you get to go explore it at night, and it's really creepy, but it's really fun.
Oh my gosh.
So we're doing that, right? There's this one dark hallway, no one goes down, so it's a restricted section because of how dark it gets, because the lights don't work down it, especially at night. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
And so the ghost tour people were like, yeah, if someone wants to go down there, you can go down there. And it was a bunch of things like that, like ooh, we're gonna scare you.
Oh, do you remember the Savannah trip? Did you go on that?
I did go on that.
Ghost walks. I was sprinting that day. They had us running because my group was late to stuff, so we were running across the Savannah streets. And Savannah is one of the most haunted places in America. And I think they set it up, but there would be moments where they're like, and no one's lived lived in this house ever. I'm like, why is the light on upstairs? I'm like, excuse me,
dude, who just turned the light on and just left it?
I was like, either you're lying or you're lying. I don't know which one it is. So yeah, I don't know if I definitely believe in a presence.
Well, I like ghost stories. Those are fun. Like there's a bunch of them. Definitely down in Savannah of the spooky stuff. Like there was there's always the story of the person who gets stuck in the casket, because back in the day they couldn't confirm if you were dead or not.
Oh, and you ring the bell. Yeah, that stuff scares me. Scares me.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, it's scary. That stuff is so scary to me. Being alive after being dead. Nah, when I'm dead, I just want to see black.
Yeah, if you're gonna bury me, please remove the brain, just so that way I'm dead.
If I'm dead, I'm dead. If I'm dead, I'm dead. There should be no instance where someone comes back to life. How did you not make sure this man wasn't alive before you buried it? There should be no instance at all. And the fact that happened actually, once at least, I think. I remember hearing a true story about it.
No, it happened multiple times.
Nah.
Because it was a disease.
You playing these games with me. No.
I forget what disease, but it was a disease that made you had death-like symptoms. So your heart rate would drop and a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And so you would recover in the casket, and nothing you can do. Hope the graveyard keeper hears you.
Yeah. But I do believe in spirits, negative spirits. I think when it comes to ghosts, my brain automatically goes to negative. Your instances don't seem negative, but they seem spooky. Mine aren't really that spooky. I will get instances where I feel like my grandpa does something for me, and I'm like, that's his ghost doing something for me. And yeah, I don't know. I don't like saying ghost though, because I feel like the minute you say ghost, it's ooh, spooky. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess because the ghost never sometimes so the ghost in my house likes to shut doors and stuff, not really open them. Every now and again they'll open them, but.
I love how this is just a normal occurrence to you. You're acting yep, little Gerald likes to go on a walk every now and then, but it's okay. We just okay.
Well, it's just nice for them to do.
When you hear a door, do you go hey Geraldine? Do you do that?
Well, I don't know its name, so I don't give it.
Maybe we need to go to your house. Have you not pulled out a Ouija board?
No, I don't need to know. Yo, it's perfectly happy right now. I do not want to anger it. Okay.
It's gonna be why are you asking so many questions?
What do you want to know, bitch?
Watch it be a whole family of ghosts in there too. It's not just one. It could be multiple. It could be.
Hey, yo, as long as they're not disturbing our peace, I'm fine with them sharing the house. Okay, they don't eat our food. They shut our doors for us. Sometimes they turn on the lights, which is kind of weird. You're wasting our electricity. But sometimes they turn them off. So, you win some, you lose some.
Okay. But yeah, that's most of our ghost instances. I was thinking, I pulled up a ghost story.
Okay.
A real ghost story. And I want to start reading stories here too. Stories that relate to what we're talking about, if there is one. And I'll probably read it a little bit beforehand so we know if it's good or not. But that is for us to decide. Maybe we could get something where our friends send in stories, because that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be
our
fun.
listeners sending in stories. But for now, Google is my best friend. So this is from Reader's Digest, which I think is this fancy little literature thing. And it says, this is from a document that says 12 real ghost stories. And this is called The Impish Ghost. Can you do that? Can I say that again when you with you playing the thing?
Yeah.
The Impish Ghost. Thank you. That made me feel so fantasy. I'm feeling the fantasy. Okay, so are you ready? My neighbor Diane and I had a playful poltergeist for years. Love that. Really do. Okay.
Yo, sounds similar.
And we called it Billy. Okay. So begins Reddit.com user Abby. I love how it tells me that. So this is from Reddit. So that's all I'm gonna say. It's from Reddit. So we give you know. Abby's alibi is the Reddit page. In their real life ghost story. So she's saying, I'd come home and find something put in a weird place, milk in a cupboard. Oh, cupboard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Toilet paper in the fridge. Okay. Laundry detergent in the bathtub. Diane once called to ask if Billy had been around because she couldn't find a gallon of milk. We finally found it outside of her back steps and sugar. Darn sugar. Every morning my sugar bowl was empty. Do you have a sugar bowl? Okay, I know. This sounds so weird. Who has a sugar bowl? Anyways.
It might be British.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Impish. That is not an English word, is it?
Imp is an English word. It's typically a type of demon.
Oh.
It's if you've ever seen the little like creature with like the pointy tail.
Yeah.
Typically an imp is what those are based off of.
If someone called me an imp, I would think they call me a slur.
It's
you impish.
Well, so it can refer to something evilish, such as like you impish whore is something that happens, or it could refer to someone who's just short.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Okay. So back to the story. When I had enough, I would point to Diane's home and yell, "Go see Diane." Within 5 minutes, I'd get a call from her. I know dang well this ghost was not listening to this. Go see Diane. Y'all acted like this was your child. This is probably why it's angry at you. What is it in its teenage phase? Go see a Diane. Okay. Continuing. Thanks a lot, she'd say. He'd gone up and pulled shenanigans at her place. This occurred for the entire 2 years we lived there. No one believed us, not even our husbands. My mother thought someone was stealing from us when we were sleeping or out of the house. My sister believed something was going on but didn't know what. I still can't explain any of it. That is the story. Okay, I wish there was more of a resolve to the story.
Yeah. That's what you get from Reddit.
Yeah, that's what I do get from Reddit. If you had this, let me give Miss Diane some advice, or let me give you the Billy owners some advice. Sounds like you guys are fighting for like the opposite of fighting for custody. Yo, no, you get Billy, not you get Billy. And the fact that y'all are fighting over Billy the ghost, leave Billy alone. Let Billy live.
Yo, you didn't even thank Billy for getting stuff for you, okay?
Maybe Billy's upset because you guys just like don't like want him. And that's what's sad. You guys are giving him off to each other, like you guys are like passing him around, and he's going to create terror. He is.
This is why ghosts have bad names, because you guys make them hate us, okay?
Billy. Y'all called it Billy.
Yo, he just wanted to have some fun.
Bro, watch it be like a black dude. That's probably why he's upset. You called him Billy. Nope. No. But I'm also a black man named Jaden, so.
So I wanted to go back and touch on the topic of the being buried alive again. So I pulled up the wiki article on like where that's.
You are cutting out.
Am I cutting out?
I think my thing is unplugging.
Oh. Can you hear?
No, I can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
Is my thing unplugged?
How could you hear me before if it was unplugged?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're fine.
So I'm unplugged.
Yeah, let me go find you. Oh, no, I'm cutting out. Okay.
Hello?
The ghosts do not want us talking about this stuff, Jaden.
Whoa. Bro, she's creepy, bro.
So it's not cutting out on the actual microphone.
Oh, so it hears us.
Yes, you're being heard.
So do you hear me?
I'm cutting out right now too.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's something wrong with these things. That's funny.
I'm so confused. I'm scared. Is it you, Billy?
Billy was not happy with our comment.
I can't hear myself right now.
Just switch
Okay.
headphones.
Whoa. So crazy.
Okay.
Billy?
Billy? No. So yeah, they didn't cut out on the microphone.
Billy did not want me speaking anymore. She said shh, silence.
Okay. So the fear of being buried alive peaked during the cholera epidemic. So that's where that came from. That was around the 19th century. Century. Sorry. The fears of being alive were heightened by reports of doctors and accounts in literature and the newspapers, as well as being with the subject in the fall of the House of Usher and the cask of, don't know how to say that name, but they're, and then the Edgar Allan Poe premarital burial, which was published in 1844. So, and it contained accounts of supposedly genuine cases of premature burial, as well as detailing the narrator's own perceived interment while still alive.
Oh.
Speaking of that, people who see the afterlife when they get like re-resuscitated. Have you heard about that?
Oh, yes, I have. I saw a whole story where she was like, oh, I went to heaven and then I went to hell and then I got back to life. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
what a story.
See, I don't know.
You do start to, I heard you start to hallucinate towards it, like when you're starting to die.
Well, there is a thing where people say that certain hallucinogenics help you accept the fact of death.
Okay.
So certain drugs can help you, like giving that to a patient who's about to die anyways, can help them like calm down and accept the fact that they are about to die.
Yeah. We should have done this. Oh, wait a second. I do have like somewhat of a ghost story. It's not really me. It is the theaters. Our theater has a ghost. And
What's its name?
people, I don't know. People just say it nonchalantly, and I don't know why. People like brought it up to me last year. They're like, "Oh yeah, we have a ghost." Da, 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 da. So the underneath of our stage is like dusty. That's the way they say it lives, and I was like, okay. But this is also theater kids, so do I believe them? But when I'm there alone, Jaden, like there was one time I'm there completely alone because I'm the president of the theater. Whitley trusts me to lock up everything. I went on stage just to see. It's all dark. I start hearing like footsteps. And I was like, walked out, walked the other way, went home. I was like, no, thank you. So this is probably why I don't have ghost stories, because the minute something freaks me out, nope, I'm gone. Don't care. Don't sign me up for that. But yeah, I think our theater has a ghost. I don't know what happened there for it to have a ghost. Maybe it was built on like a tombstone or something. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it was built on a dead body. It's scary. It's horrible. We have like this under the stage thing where like it's like the vents and you feel like the wind immediately. It is a vent and you walk in. We're not supposed to, by the way, but we walk in and like I went to the back, and this is the first time I walked in because they were taking me, the like upperclassmen. I walk in and I went all the way to the back, and there's just this open Ouija board, and I'm like, whoever brought this down here, you just are hoping for bad spirits, don't you? Putting it right under a stage. I think it still stays there too. So, yep, that's the theater ghost story. Thank you. I feel so special with sound effects.
So so I just searched up some like haunted sites, and apparently there's this Sloss furnace down in Birmingham, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically what happened is after the Civil War, about 1879, came the need for tons of pig iron. And so so there's some companies that were built, and one of the companies opened this basically blast furnace to hundreds of employees. And the jobs on the blast furnace were advanced, but also very deadly. So with a bunch of unskilled, untrained workers, hundreds of people died. Well, maybe not hundreds, but lots of people died, started falling to their death, stuff like that. And so by the early 1900s, it was so dangerous that they actually had to close the plant. And eventually what happened was it's now considered one of the most haunted places down in Alabama.
I want to go back to Savannah because that's the closest one to us when it comes to like biggest haunted places. I want to see a ghost now, which is really bad for me to say, because I want to say hi to one. Hey, girl, hey, don't haunt me, but like show me what you can do, I guess.
Well, we were talking to Bridget earlier today, or not
Bridget is someone. Jaden, listening back to this, mark the fact that we need Bridget on this podcast. She's so funny. Honestly, a podcast where it's just random stuff. Like we should every now and then make a random podcast. Like a random episode,
just no
talking. Bridget's the perfect person. I love her.
Well, a lot of people want to get on the podcast, right? We need to start a list and
maybe next week we can bring some.
You want to get like 2 or 3 people on? Like
sure.
You just have to decide what people want to be on.
But what were you saying?
So my friends. So when we went on this ghost tour type thing.
I'm eating. That's why. Let me just keep talking. Keep talking.
So we went on this ghost tour, and my friend's mom, who was we were going to see like the helicopters and stuff on top of the Navy base, right? Mm-hmm. My friend's mom was too short to see into the cockpit and stuff, and wanted to, so she grabbed her phone and like took a picture, and the flash was on. So when looking back at the photo,
oh Lord,
there was someone dressed up,
oh Lord,
in military garb, and a full beard, and the beard's only important because no one on that trip had a beard. No one in our little group had a beard. There's no group on top. It was great.
I hate the photo ones where you check back later. That's the scariest thing I've ever seen. When I look at scary photos, like where you see like a random person in the back, horrified.
No, it was crazy because my friend. Okay, one of my friends swears he saw like 3 faces in the glass, and it's like, okay, dude, I think you're kind of milking it here.
I actually saw a whole army of ghosts. Get ready, guys.
Yeah, I saw every last one of them. Mm-hmm. They're all my friends now.
Mm-hmm. But I am now a ghost. I'm a ghost.
Okay, so I just searched up. Let me find this. Give me a second. I'm trying to figure out. So the Hamilton Turner Inn was made famous by
Alexander Hamilton. Sorry. Keep going.
Darn theater kids. This is why you guys can't go on any podcast.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So it was one of the most haunted places in Savannah. It was made famous by midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Paranormal activities inside the inn include the sounds of children laughing.
Love that for me.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't mind the ghost like opening doors, shutting doors, and that stuff. But if you start making like weird noises,
I'm out.
That's when I start calling the exorcist, okay? You can't be making... I need to be able to have my good night's sleep, okay?
I don't even like the sound of kids. Why would I want to hear a dead kid? No, thank you. No, thank you.
So there was just some billiard balls rolling around. And...
Not what you call it?
That...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Billiard balls. I'm sorry. Keep going.
But apparently those were rolling around. And that would...
What was rolling around?
Billiard balls.
That's my drag name. No.
That's what you sound like right now.
Billiard balls. The title of the podcast. Billy and the Billiard Ball Ghost.
Actually, that's such a good name.
Billy and the... Write that down. But keep talking about the ball.
So they would roll around, and that's interesting.
Oh wow, I have so I have something for us to do.
Okay,
put your phone down. This is a you time. First I'm gonna text you real quick the title of this podcast. But it's so funny. I love title like podcasts, like weird things we say in it. Billy the ghost
plays with his billiard balls.
This is why we shouldn't have a podcast. Billy the ghost and his billiard ball. Billiard ball. Was it balls or ball?
Balls.
Billiard balls. It's not even that funny. I'm so tired. Okay, so you have a ghost in your house.
Yeah.
So why not trust the best source ever, BuzzFeed? And I'm going to make you take a quiz on what kind of ghost do you have in your house so we can figure out who the heck this girl is. Okay, you ready? Okay, so let's get started. Is your house old?
No, it's reasonably new.
Okay. Has someone died in your house in the past?
Nope.
Okay.
I think we're the second owners, but we know the first ones.
Have you ever gone ghost hunting?
Technically, yes. I'm going to count the exploring like ghost tours as ghost hunting.
So once or a couple times?
Twice if we include Savannah.
Okay. I think they're asking that because, that's another thing. Ghosts can attach to you.
That wouldn't surprise me because the ghost follows me from room to room. So
it's probably your fault.
It's probably my ghost.
Great. Good to know. Do you get paranormal encounters in your house?
Yes.
Okay. Wait. Why doesn't it not give me the yes? It says Stuff moves. I see a creepy woman. Kids' toys move. I see a terrifying shadow creature.
Okay, it's the second one. It's
I see a creepy woman.
not creepy. Stuff moves and creepy woman are the two things that happen.
I'm going to say stuff moves.
Yeah.
What's the creepiest room in your house? Kids' room, basement, kitchen, every room.
It's bedroom. So kids' room.
Because you're the kid.
Yeah.
Okay. It already gave me an answer. Are you ready to... Jaden, are you ready to hear what ghost you have in your house?
Yeah.
You... Oh, Lord.
What is it?
You have a poltergeist.
Okay, so search up what a poltergeist actually is.
Okay, it gives me it.
Okay.
Poltergeist ghosts can be quite dangerous if they want to be. So yours doesn't want to be.
No, he's having a fun time.
Okay, which can be an inconvenience since they love to be in the kitchen with all the dangerous objects. Does this one love the kitchen?
No, this one doesn't like the kitchen.
Maybe she don't like cooking. If you don't want a plate being thrown at you, don't anger these ghosts. Don't anger him. Don't anger her, Jaden.
Oh, I always say thank you. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm very respectful to my ghost, okay?
These ghosts also love to make your house messy.
They clean up.
Yeah, they gave you your keys back. So let's not put no dirt on this ghost's name.
Okay, so I looked it up on Wikipedia. The poltergeist comes from Germany. It is...
I think I knew that.
Yeah, so it stands for, the direct meaning in German is a rumbling ghost or a noisy spirit. So it's just a messy, noisy spirit.
That's her, right?
Yeah.
She's noisy. Whose phone is that? Who's in the room with us?
Not Hanlon. Hanlon left. It would be the janitors.
Or your ghost is here.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I wonder if there's an online Ouija board we can do right now. Hold on.
I don't think that's how it works because you have to physically move, right, with it.
You should download the app.
So Ouija board app.
I used to do that as a kid.
Me and my ghost don't need to communicate. Okay, we communicate just fine.
We do have one. Okay. So ghost, I want you to tell me your name. I hope I'm. Oh, let me ask. Am I speaking
To a poltergeist?
to Jaden's ghost? If not, this is a ghost in the film room. Oh, it's moving. It's moving, Jaden. It's moving. It's moving, Jaden. It's moving. It's moving. Oh my gosh. It's taking a long time to move. No, it's not. Jaden, this is a random ghost.
Okay, so I looked up 7 signs of a poltergeist. The first one is disappearing objects, such as you put your set of keys or your cell phone down in the place you always put it. You turn around and a minute later, it's gone.
She's the opposite.
No, this is what she does. She'll take the keys. She does take her
Oh,
stuff.
and she gives it back?
Yeah. She just gives it back eventually. That's
Love them.
objects levitating or thrown. I don't know if I've ever had objects levitate. Not that I've seen.
I'm levitating.
I
I asked if it's the film ghost, and it said yes.
Ooh.
Is this like...
Ask if it's a poltergeist.
Is this Mr. Handline's...
Mr. Handline, no. I just saw him.
Is this Mr. Handline? Watch this be like, is this Mr. Handline's
Brother.
brother? No.
Handline, your brother. I hate to tell you. He's gone.
I'm asking it if it likes us. Do you like us?
Okay, so scents and odors. No one in your house smokes, yet on occasion the distinct smell of that. Hard to say because my dad does smoke cigars sometimes, so it's one of those things. It's hard to know when he's just smoking or if it's the ghost.
Wait, let me end this with one last question.
Okay.
So, it said it does not like us film kids, which is no surprise. So I'm just going to ask its name, and then I'm going to say goodbye. U. N. K. Unk.
Unk.
Wait, there's more. N. Unken.
Unken.
Unkano.
Unkano.
Unkano. Unkanow. Unkanow. So Unkanow, I'm gonna leave you alone now. Goodbye. I hope you have a great time in the film room. I'm sorry we're so terrible to you. Unkanow. So what were you saying?
So I looked up. There's 7 signs. It's disappearing objects, which we've confirmed. Objects levitating or thrown.
I'm levitating.
Scents and odors. Electrical interference.
Okay.
Power from nowhere. Knocks, rappings, footsteps, and other noises. That happens a lot. And then physical attacks. I've not been physically attacked, but I have seen the ghost, which, if it's a friendly ghost, maybe it just wants to be seen. Maybe it wants to be heard, okay?
Maybe this is your girl. I mean, we did the Valentine's Day special. Maybe, Jaden, this is the one for you. This is ghost. Well, I wonder what her name is now. You need to ask her. What's your name, girl? Christine.
I want to see what other types of ghosts are there. Because I know there's like a banshee, which is...
The only way I know some of these are from the Conjuring series, which of course you don't know because you don't know those movies.
No, but I do know about Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia is a video game where you have proximity chat and like you give the game like voice commands, and it'll like you have to try to figure out what type of ghost it is while surviving the encounters. It's really fun.
I think I've seen a playthrough of this game.
Yeah, it's a really fun horror game, which I love watching some horror games. I don't like Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay, Five Nights at Freddy's just gives me a heart attack, and I don't want to purposely give myself a heart attack. It's like not even scary. It's just a jump scare. The wah! That's one of like Mario dying. But like the jump scares scare me. My favorite horror games are like the Corey. Have you seen the Corey?
I don't think so.
Pop, peanut butter pops. Pop them in your mouth. Oh. You need to. It's so funny.
I'm really trying to look at these types of ghosts right now, but no one has anything on them.
There's no Quizlet with a ghost and stuff.
No, not that I'm seeing, which is kind of stupid. So I know there's like a poltergeist. I know there is a spirit. I know there's a type. I don't know if spirits go under a different category. We're gonna call it a ghost.
Spirito.
I know there's a thing called a banshee, which is supposed to be like exclusively women. Love
that.
Well, they're supposed to be chilling, and they're supposed to like fly or something like that. And then you have. I'm literally just gonna pull up the Phasmophobia thing because it's gonna be the. I didn't want to use Phasmophobia wiki. Ghost types. Don't need that. How do I identify ghosts? I don't care about any of that. So there's a banshee, which fingerprints, ghost orbs. I'm not even gonna read this. Okay, that's boring.
Let's not be boring. We can't be boring. Right. Okay, so I wonder if there's anything else. I think ghost is too much of like a. I mean, how much time have we had?
40 minutes.
Oh, that is a long time for talking about ghosts. I thought ghosts was going to end really fast because I don't have that many instances with ghosts.
Well, there's like just a few things of like just hanging out. Like I love ghost stories on like campfire night. That's fun.
I like that. I like ghost stories. Ghost stories are so funny to me, but so like, ooh, spooky.
We actually used to have, because of how bad I used to get nightmares and stuff on scouting trips, we used to have to ban them. Because I couldn't.
Are you serious? Were you the wuss?
Dude, you don't understand how bad my nightmares used to get. Okay, I used to stay up for like 5 nights straight because I knew I was gonna have a nightmare. So I'd stay up 5 nights because as long as I was up, I didn't go to sleep. No nightmares. Simple problem, simple solution. And then I would wait till I passed out because when I passed out, I didn't dream. So
I know people hated you. Little Jaden didn't want to listen to the ghost stories. Oh my gosh, there was this one story. I never got ghost stories in Puerto Rico. There was this one girl that like I knew just a connection from my grandma, and she came over and told me the scariest story of my life. I literally thought I was gonna die the next day. But she told me she was like there once was this guy, and it wasn't a ghost story. It was more of like a horror story. But she called it a ghost story. And she was like, there's this one guy, and he killed these people, skinned them alive, made them into chicken, and sold it in stores. I was like, what? Because I was afraid someone was going to come snatch me up, make me into some chicken wings, or I would be eating them. And so I was just extra scared. And thank you, girl, for scarring me forever, because that was like the worst thing of my life.
So one of the fun things that used to happen, because I used to do like a bunch of sleepovers, right, with all my friends. Mm-hmm. And so every time we did a sleepover, they all wanted to watch horror stories. And I was not the person who said, no, we can't watch horror stories. Instead, what I would do is when they started watching horror stories, I would go into a different room and just go to bed.
Oh my God. You are such a wimp.
Or I would purposely go to sleep like 30, 45 minutes before they started, and I would sleep. The terrifying thing about that, though, is that sometimes everybody else would pass out to the horror stories still going on, and I would wake up to them. Like 5 a.m. It's just ghost stories.
I love that kind of stuff, though.
No, that stuff's scary, Jaden.
It's even fun to go to sleep because it gives you a little bit of a thrill. And it's like nightmare fuel.
I don't want nightmares. That's the whole point.
Have you ever watched that? Well, you barely watch horror movies, but have you ever watched like a horror movie and then after like watch like cartoons to feel better?
Yeah.
Like you're like, I'm so scared. Anyways, let me put on like.
I didn't have to do that after Nope, but I remember one time Liam came over. You know Liam.
Who's Liam?
You don't know Liam?
I love Liam. Oh my gosh, get him on this podcast right now.
But I'm pretty sure it was either Liam or one of my other friends, which you wouldn't know, because they go to a different school. But we watched some either horror movie or it was like a really violent movie. I forget which. I think it was like horror movie, and we had to watch like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for like the next hour to get over it.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I used to love the original show.
That show's so good.
Oh my gosh. There was like, but there's some shows that like looking back at it now are so. Have you ever watched like, what is it? The Cowardly Dog show. That show is scary.
Yeah.
I was playing it the other day and I was just like, was it always this scary to me? Like the faces, like that. You showed that to kids.
Dude, that is such a creepy concept too, because isn't it like just a house in the middle of nowhere?
A house in the middle of nowhere that keeps having like killers and murderers show up to it, and the dog's like, Miriam, and he's trying to help his like mother, and like his father hates him, and like it's so sad.
Yeah, no, that shit was.
That is some terrible, terrible, terrible stuff. But yeah, is there anything else we have to say about Ghost? Ghost or Ghost?
Respect your ghost.
Respect your ghost. I would love another episode of this after we like experience something else. Maybe a Ghost Part 2 will happen one day.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of ghosts.
We might have to do a Ouija board at my house, see what happens.
That's a podcast live, and we take it somewhere, and we do a Ouija board and see. The Ouija board probably won't move.
It won't.
She doesn't want to speak to us.
Dude, she doesn't want to communicate.
She's like, no, I'd rather just steal your keys. Let's do that.
It's funny. She might not be able to read. That would be very rude if she was illiterate and you just assumed she could read like that.
You're assuming it's gender.
No, I'm not. I said I've seen it.
Yeah, you're assuming did it say, hey, I'm a girl. No, it could be a boy in drag. What if a drag queen died? Drag queen ghost sounds like the scariest thing ever because they're the most annoying. And I can say this because I've done drag. And I want to be a drag queen one day, like a little, like on the side. But drag queens are the scariest kind of people because they have to deal with so much that they will like, if a drag queen was a ghost, they'd be like, yes, moi.
Just imagine that.
Wake your butt up. Let's get started on the sleigh day. Drag queen ghost. I love that. We did an episode on drag. I love drag so much.
Yeah.
I love.
We'll bring like Ashlyn on for that episode or something.
Or we can do an episode where we both bring two different topics and try to meet in the middle. That's what we wanted to do.
Well, we still do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, because you don't have a lot of experiences with ghosts, and I do.
Go.
It would be more fun if one of us didn't believe in ghosts.
Ghosts. I just don't believe in that kind of ghost.
The mean ghost?
Yeah. Okay. I'll send us off. The final words of today's podcast. Ghosts or ghost? Yup. I'm not done yet. That's my goodbye. Go back. Reverse. Okay, so ghost or ghost. Don't mess with the ghost. If you have a nice ghost, find out who they are, because Jaden doesn't even know who they is, and that's so rude. It's probably even ruder that you don't know who it is, and they just want to speak to you. And yeah, ghosts are ghosts, and I hope Billy really does like to play with
his billiards.
His billiard balls. So you guys have fun with y'all's billiards. Goodbye. Ooh. Spooky.